Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and this is The Doctor Is In. In the next half hour, we hope to answer your medical questions while you're staying safe at home. Today, we'll talk about our feelings, our emotions during these challenging times. The COVID-19 pandemic is causing a lot of stress and distress these, to so many people. The COVID-19 pandemic does this and affects us in many different ways, and that is understandable. Joining us on the program is Dr. Paz Manaligod, who is a developmental psychologist. It's nice to have you, Dr. Manaligod.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Ferdy. It's nice to be here at this time. Okay, so we'll...
Now, it's common these days to feel sad. Yes, it's common nowadays, Doktora, to feel sad, worried, and paranoid. Okay lang yan, di ba, Doc? Can we hear you explain why?
Yeah, I can hear you a bit. Okay. Okay.
Yes, my question was if it's common, it is very common nowadays to feel worried, sad, and paranoid. Is this okay lang ba, Doctor?
Yes, this is a very normal emotion at this time of COVID, right? Because there are a lot of uncertainties, okay? We've been taken by surprise, okay? It's very global. So certainly we feel sometimes we're angry, perhaps we're disappointed, we're so afraid, and we have these feelings of anxiety that every now and then, no, when we hear certain news, no, it's already like it has become a part of our everyday life.
Now, aside from uncertainty, the other problem is being in quarantine. The idea that we have
Yeah.
limited social activities. We can't even really visit our
Mm-hmm.
family members as a result of these restrictions. And all of this is, of course, to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Now, Dr. Manaligod, let's talk about the impact of this limited interaction with others. Can you share
Yeah.
a little bit
Okay.
more?
So yeah, this is why I'm so thankful of technology now. No, because at least at this time we're able to connect with people through perhaps the webcam like we're doing now. The news is continued, no, sometimes via Zoom we connect with people from different places. Even if we are in our own home, we can get in touch, no, with our friends. We can also ask for support. It's just all through the media, social technology. So maybe this is one of the time that it's really being used for now. And that connection is very important because again, as persons, as individuals, it's very hard to be isolated. We have to keep that connection with people, and we have to be resourceful, finding ways to make that connection.
Now, we want to remind our viewers that this telemedicine program was designed for you. So we want to read some of your questions right now. We have a question from Michael Angelo Manalo. Ang tanong niya ay, can the pandemic increase the severity of the symptoms and what can be the treatment options?
Okay, what symptoms are we talking about again, please?
Symptoms of anxiety,
Okay.
and paranoia. Can the
Okay.
pandemic increase the severity of these, and what are some of the treatment options, Doctora?
Okay, so maybe perhaps it's very important also, no, when we look into anxiety, sometimes this is what we call imagined fear. Usually we talk about what if, what if. So we have to again reflect and tell ourselves, these are what ifs, no? So we take things one at a time. Maybe I am afraid now because again, this is a virus, something is happening, it causes death and sickness. Okay, so what can I do now that would help me? So perhaps you can look into doing research, reading more about it. Okay, doing things that would make you perhaps not be fearful of this. You can also do some mindfulness exercises, telling yourselves, yes, I know, I admit this anxiety, okay? But there are things that I can do. Relax, meditate. Maybe it could also help if you also exercise because this releases perhaps you get tired, you will have a restful sleep. So there are things that exercise can do. Reflection is very important, trying to say, why am I anxious? Why am I afraid? What are the things, no, that makes me fear this time? And what are the things that has helped me? Maybe there were times before that you were fearful, you were anxious. Maybe go back to that time and try to remember, what did I do that has helped me? Okay, so I guess these are things that maybe more or less we have done already, but because of the pandemic, again, this increases our anxiety.
Now, relationships at home during quarantine will have their ups and downs. We'll pause for a quick break, but when we return, we'll look at how we can balance things out and how we can manage knowing fully that it's especially difficult these days. So you're watching The Doctor Is In right here on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. Almost everyone is affected emotionally by the coronavirus, and we are staying indoors for the most part. There's a lot that we still don't know about the disease, and naturally so, we get upset, we get sad, and especially emotional. Our guest for today is Dr. Maria Paz Manaligod, who is a developmental psychologist. Now, in a lockdown or enhanced community quarantine, we are now spending more time with our family members. Kids are not able to go to school physically, and we are always around each other. So let's talk about the good and the bad about this setup. Dr. Manaligod, what is some of the pros and cons of the setup like this that we have now?
Okay, so perhaps one thing, no, ano bang tawag na yun? It's the cabin fever, right? Sometimes we get so cooped up inside the house. We see each other every day. It's not like when we go to school and work, no? So I guess what is important here also is you still have your me time. Try to come up with your own corner at home. You don't always have to be together all the time, because we know that there are things also that we do on our own to give it also a semblance of normalcy. So maybe that's one. Another important aspect also is aside from being mindful of ourselves, we're also mindful, no, of the stress that our family members are going through. So there might also be time that they would act out. So we try to be patient with one another. And at the same time, we also understand that we also need to support them. Maybe one day it's your eldest who feels angry or disappointed. Okay, so let him feel that feeling, no? And then maybe the next day, if it's your husband who's feeling stressed out, then at least you're also there to help him out. So again, maybe when we have these negative feelings, no, each person would have also that strength, no, to support the other. It's so hard if all of you are feeling all these negative things at the same time. Another thing also, maybe talk
So
about
I
the
guess,
things that,
mhm.
okay, are we good?
Yeah, so I was going to say is an important part. It's normal to have those negative feelings, and that we should just reinforce them as family members, as loved ones in the same home. We should just reinforce some of those feelings of negativity, that, like what you mentioned.
Yes.
So tanungin naman natin ang audience, ano? So what are some of the common challenges, or what are some of the challenges that you face at home, and how we can manage them accordingly? So let's read some of the comments we have on social media. We have one from Crystal Alexa who shares, palagi po kaming nagvi-videoke sa bahay. Nakakawala ng stress. Ano pa po ang mga iba activities na pwede namin gawin to avoid being too stressed?
Yeah. Singing, especially for us, no, singing is a very good way to release tension. Okay. Another thing also perhaps is maybe watch a movie together with the family. Maybe if you have some jigsaw, like a 1,000 pieces jigsaw stuck up somewhere, you can do it together. You try to play games that you never were able to play before because you lack time. You can perhaps cook together or take some turns, no? Si kuya ngayon ang magluluto, si ate naman bukas, something like that. There are a lot of things that we can really do because we're also resourceful. You can be so resourceful at this time. Okay. Another thing also is perhaps having a virtual tour. Now in webinar, there's a lot of explore this country. So just pretend that you're going to this place. So a lot of things really that we can do. I'm sure we can think of so many other things.
Lawrence asks, may kasama po kaming matanda sa bahay at palagi nag-aalala dahil sa COVID-19. Ano po ang dapat gawin?
Yeah, yeah. Usually, we have them being very anxious. Sometimes they imagine all of these things that would be happening. What they would really need really is the reassurance. So maybe even if you have to tell them every now and then, Lolo, Lola, we're here. We will make sure that you will be all right. We'll take care of you, and give time for them. Talk to them. Okay, that would mean that you care for them, and really, these reassurance are very important because sometimes they feel left out, no? And you also tell them it's important that you are here. It's important that you are healthy, so that we can all perhaps surpass this pandemic.
So I guess to summarize the tips for this part, now it's normal because of these situations. It's normal to have feelings of anxiety, emotional
Yeah.
distress, even those towards your loved ones, because all of you are in the same environment. But the important part is that you recognize this, and it is okay to talk. It is better to talk about
Yeah.
these situations, these
Yes.
emotions with your loved ones to better appease with all of that. Thank
Yeah.
you very
It's
much,
true.
Dr. Paz Manaligod. Thank you for
You're
all your help
welcome.
and being able to share your insights on these various feelings that a lot of people may have.
Okay. Thank you. So perhaps maybe one
When we
thing that I
return,
have is an
thank you.
acronym. Yeah. The acronym is I can. For
Go
instance,
ahead.
I can connect with myself, I connect with people, so that I am able to adapt, accommodate, or adjust to the new normal. New normal, wearing the face mask, washing my hands, social distancing. So maybe we think of this and say, yes, we can overcome. I can.
Okay, very well said. And again, thank you very much, Doctora. When we return, let's talk about how meditation helps in relieving stress brought by this pandemic. Please stay tuned to The Doctor is In here on CNN Philippines. You're watching The Doctor is In. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. We want to make the most out of your telemedicine appointment, so please keep sending your questions and we'll do our best to answer them. So, our topic for today is our mental health, coping with stress during this time of COVID-19. Our guest right now is Miss Sarah Black, who is a meditation and energy coach. Welcome again to the program, Sarah.
Hi, Freddie. Thank you for having me today. How are you?
Well, we're doing great, and we're glad that you're on here. Now, Sarah, how can meditation help with stress, especially in a time like this?
Freddie, what's happening right now is that there's so much external chaos. There's so many things that are not in our control in the current situation, and people are just looking for structure. And what the meditation process does, it allows us to turn inward and locate that internal structure, so that you can find that space of calm and peace that you cannot find in the external world right now. So it's really just a matter of turning inward and finding that sensation of peace within.
Now, when is a good time to meditate?
Ideally, so you can meditate any time of the day, any time that it arises. If you are feeling a little bit more stressed in the afternoon after a long day of work, you can meditate then. But it's highly suggested to do it on a daily basis, first thing in the morning. So as soon as you get up in the morning, you can just have a glass of water or go to the toilet. Avoid reaching for your phone don't turn on the TV first, no CNN Philippines first. Just turn inward and connect with your breath. And you'll find that if you do this on a regular basis, that internal order that you're seeking tends to stay with you throughout the day. If you start your day and you're attending to
Now,
your phone right away, there's a million things that are coming at you a mile a minute. So start if you start with calm, then the rest of your day tends to pan out in a state of calm.
that's good advice. But for someone who's new to meditation, how can they start?
The easiest point of entry would be the breath. So there's a lot of different techniques and styles of meditation, but accessible to everyone right now, regardless of your age. I have students who are as young as 5 years old and as old as 75 years old. And all of us, we are capable of connecting to our breath. We're already breathing every second of our life. It's just a matter of doing it on a more conscious level. So breathe in and breathe out. That's the easiest place to start. And if you can do that consciously for 3 to 5 minutes and just keep your awareness with the breath, inhaling, exhaling, you'll find that physiologically, there's a biochemical reaction in the body. The breath is the mechanism to shift your nervous
Now,
system into rest and relax. So there's a very powerful biochemical mechanism working there.
right. So if you could join me, Sarah, let's check out some questions from our netizens on Facebook. We have a question from
Yes.
NJ, and he's asking, may specific meditation po ba depende sa edad?
Yes. So as I said, regardless of your age, you can just start breathing, deep breathing consciously. Of course, it's different to teach a 5-year-old because their attention span is very short. And then also people who are older have difficulty breathing also. Obviously, their body's it's not in the same state. But the thing is, you just have to go at the pace that feels good for you. So kung hanggang 4 counts lang ang kaya mo today, that's fine. Start there. That's a start.
We have a question also from Marife Soto. May breathing techniques po ba para mabawasan ang stress and anxiety?
That's a very good question, Marife. Thank you. Anytime we slow down the breath, that is what shifts our body into rest and relaxation. So long and slow breath. So for instance, if you wanted to try a 4-7-8 breath, you would inhale through the nose for 4 counts, hold the breath in for 7 counts, and then exhale through the nose for 8 counts. So you can see that it's very long and slow. And try that and tell me if you don't feel more relaxed and calm after. You'll feel the shift in your body just from doing that breath work. 4-7-8.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. Before we go, though, Sarah, do you have a message for our viewers?
Now is the time to take a pause and really connect to your breath. It's something that you can do on a daily basis. It's free. Walang bayad. You can do it anytime. And your sense of calm is always in your command. So let's not let external factors dictate the state of our being, but just close your eyes, turn inward, and discover that the peace that you're seeking is just inside of you.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for joining us today on the program. We
Thank you.
really appreciate your insights.
Thank you. Thank you, Freddie.
And thank you also for everyone for joining us. Thank you again. And thank you all those viewers who sent in their questions. We hope we're able to answer a little bit some of your questions, some of your concerns. And as we have been saying, there are a combination of things that we can do to ease our worrying, from expert advice to speaking with our family and friends, and of course, trying our best to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. Thank you for watching.